The sun was dipping behind the trees, casting long, skeletal shadows across the forgotten ruins of Camp Crystal Lake. Decades had passed since the last blood-soaked incident. The cabins had rotted, nature reclaiming the land, but the stories, oh, the stories, still echoed in hushed campfire retellings and horror forums. To a studio executive, that meant one thing: profit. So, they came with cameras and cranes, generators humming like bees in the still woods. A small indie horror crew, hired to shoot a gritty reboot of the Crystal Lake murders, had set up shop on the same cursed ground. Young actors, cocky PAs, tired sound guys, they camped in tents and trailers just outside the derelict mess hall, using it as base camp and a central set. By nightfall, the woods grew heavy and still. Only the chirp of insects and the low drone of distant frogs broke the silence. But there was another sound, one none of them heard. Footsteps. And breath. A new Ghostface had emerged. He wasn't like the ones before, not just a killer obsessed with movies. This one was smarter, patient. He had followed the production for weeks online, mapping their shoot schedule. The idea of bringing carnage back to the most infamous killing ground in horror history, it thrilled him. He was going to outdo all the others. This wouldn't be just another scream. This would be a massacre, one that would echo forever. He donned the mask, pulled on the black cloak, and watched from the trees. His knife, long and cruelly serrated, gleamed in the moonlight. The first kill was the assistant director. She stepped out to smoke behind the mess hall. Ghostface crept from the darkness, his footsteps silent on the pine-blanketed ground. Her lighter flicked once, twice, and as the flame rose, so did his blade. He carved her open with surgical grace. No scream, only the hiss of breath, the crunch of bone, and a wet thump as she fell, eyes wide with disbelief. From there, the killings accelerated. One by one, cast and crew vanished into the dark. A camera operator found dangling from a tree gutted. A boom mic guy discovered folded inside a generator box, limbs bent at impossible angles. The fake blood used for the film became indistinguishable from the real thing. But Ghostface didn't know he had disturbed something worse. Jason Voorhees had slept. Not dead, not gone. Buried beneath time and rot, his body entangled with the roots of a blackened tree near the lake's edge. But blood awakens things. Violence calls to violence. The scent of death, the screams, the trespassers desecrating his home, all of it stirred him. His fist erupted from the earth like a war drum. Hours later, when the few remaining survivors barricaded themselves in the old kitchen, the terror was layered. They thought Ghostface was their worst nightmare. The figure in the mask who moved with such eerie grace, who whispered things before slicing their throats, who taunted them with lines from horror films as they died. But they hadn't seen the giant yet. Not yet. Ghostface, meanwhile, was savoring it. He had just cornered the lead actor in one of the empty cabins, dragging his blade slowly across the floorboards to tease the poor boy into screaming. When he finally pounced, he didn't stab. He slammed the actor against the wall and whispered, "Time for your close-up." That's when he felt it. The silence, not the usual kind. This was wrong. Even the forest had stopped breathing. He turned. The cabin door, still ajar, slowly creaked wider. And Jason Voorhees stood there, hulking, motionless. A decaying hockey mask stained with old and new filth, machete in hand, not shaking, not breathing heavily, just being. A wall of rage in human form. Ghostface took a step back, grinning under his mask. "Oh," he muttered, "now this is interesting." He lunged. Jason didn't move. Ghostface's blade caught nothing but air as Jason sidestepped with unnatural speed and slammed a backhand into his ribs, sending him crashing through the wall of the cabin. He rolled, popped up, gasping, every rib screaming. Jason walked through the wreckage like it was smoke. Ghostface vanished into the trees. For the next hour, the forest became a deadly maze. Ghostface used every trick, traps, speed, illusion. He even lured Jason into the old tool shed and set it ablaze. For a moment, he thought it was over. He stood outside, panting, watching the flames climb higher. Then Jason walked out of the inferno, his jacket smoldering, mask glowing orange like the eyes of a devil. No limp, no scream, no sound. Now the fear set in. Ghostface ran. He darted between trees, tried to hide in the same shadows he once used to kill. But Jason followed, always walking, never losing him. Eventually, Ghostface stumbled onto the old dock. Crystal Lake gleamed like obsidian under the moon. He turned, knife raised, laughing nervously under his mask. Okay, you win the Silent Treatment Award, man, but we both know you're just a big dumb. Jason's machete whistled through the air and cut Ghostface's knife, hand clean off. The masked killer shrieked, fell to his knees. Blood pulsed across the old planks. He tried to crawl back, tried to beg. Jason grabbed him by the throat. The moon was huge overhead as he lifted the squirming man off the ground. Ghostface's voice cracked. Wait, I was just trying to. Jason tilted his head, then rammed the machete through his chest, pinning him to the dock. Ghostface twitched. Jason held him there, watching, as the life left his body. When it was over, the lake was silent again. The dock, now stained with yet another death, bobbed gently on the water. By morning, the set was empty. Only blood trails and half-burned equipment remained. The authorities found nothing. No bodies, no clues. Just one mask, torn and bloodied, hanging from a branch above the water. And the ripples of something large moving beneath the surface. Jason had returned. And Camp Crystal Lake would never be silent again.